And do you know? Do you want to know something? The home will never be an ideal home. I am weary of hearing folk tell how they went to a counseling session and now they have the most glorious home you have ever heard of. Well, may I say to you, I have been married to my wife for a long time and we disagree on many things. The fact of the matter is, she has a right to be wrong. Oh, it's interesting. LaRonda's always throwing up to me what Jay Vernon says, so I wonder if she'll throw this up to me. The fact of the matter is, she has the right to be wrong, but we've always been able to come to the place where could put my arm around her and tell her I love her in spite of the fact that she is wrong. I asked my wife the other one time, so is us hugging each other, is that make us making amends with each other? And so it is to a wife, putting your arms around her and telling her you love her is making amends with her, even though she is wrong. Okay. Hey, Vernon. My young Christian friend, if you think you're going to start an ideal Christian home, I think you're mistaken. You will find that you will be tested just as Abraham was tested when he ran off to Egypt. I am of the opinion that all the way to Egypt, Sarah said, Abraham, I don't want to go down to Egypt. But they went to Egypt. He almost lost Sarah to someone else down there because he lied and said she was not his wife. That certainly is not the ideal home, is it? When Abraham returned to the promised land from Egypt, we find that he had trouble there with his nephew. Maybe Abraham should have left him in Ur of the Chaldees, but finally Lot moved down to Sodom, leaving Abraham alone up in the hill country. Here again, we see that neither Abraham nor Sarah were what we would call ideal. Abraham doubted God. He didn't believe that God ought to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. God had to make it clear to him that what he was doing was righteous and a righteous and just thing. And he had to make it clear to Sarah that he could give her power to have a son. He gave them the little child to raise in their home. Abraham and Sarah's home was the kind of home God wants you to have. If you think that following a few little rules is going to avoid all the rough places and hardships in life, you're wrong. You will find out that one day you will argue with your wife. You're going to find out that one day you're going to have a problem with the child God gives you. Your home will not be ideal by any means. How are you going to handle all these problems? By faith, my friend, by faith. When you and I have reached the place where we are willing to put our child upon the altar of God, then you and I have arrived. Abraham and Sarah's home was just about as near what to what God wants down here as any of us will be able to attain. Christian friend, if it is going if it is going hard with you and you are having problems, then God is trying to teach you something. Let God be your teacher. Don't run to your pastor and think you can take a course that will solve all your problems. You and I are going to have problems, but if we walk by faith, he will see us through. Abraham's worship of faith led to obedience in his life, so that it could be said of him, Abraham believed God, and it was counted unto him for righteousness. Romans chapter 4 and verse 3. And that concludes that section. Now we're going to go back